All right, my watch has stopped working. I was working over on a house we're building and swinging a pickaxe, using a shovel, and it stopped working after that. So I'm assuming something's bumped loose. I have no idea really. They just wound it up. As you can see, it's wound, and the second hand is not moving. I've watched way too much of Marshall's wristwatch revival, and just wanted to see how hard is it? Is it possible for a complete layman with absolutely no experience on taking apart watch movements to figure out what's broken and fix it? So we're gonna see. All right, just tap in here. It looks like the balance wheel it moves, but it doesn't seem like its amplitude is nearly enough. I do not have a fancy machine, so I'm just going by eyesight here, what it looks like, and also basing it off of the way too many hours of watch repair videos that I've seen. So I think we'll start off by taking off the rotor to give us a little bit better access, and maybe just pop out the balance wheel. Yeah, see, the second hand's still not moving, even though the balance wheel is moving a bit. So maybe I'll pop out the balance wheel and we'll see where we go from there. Let me just get my screwdrivers here. I've got a few different sizes. I got one of those variety packs for, I don't know, $10 from Amazon. Super cheap. And we're going to just get this rotor wheel off. Okay. And, oh, I need to get my tweezers as well. I also bought a pair of brass tweezers. You know, if you're going to do it, you want to do it right. Now, I didn't buy any other tools. Oh, I did actually buy a little air puffer. Air puffer, tweezers, and the screwdrivers, but I don't have a cleaner or any of the other things that I potentially would need. All right, got the wheel off. Look in here. Looks like, yeah, I think we need to start off by taking out the balance wheel. Now, I know that in the videos, Marshall always starts by removing the movement and hands and all of that. I'm hoping I don't need to work on that side of the watch, and I'm not doing a complete disassembly because it's not in need of a service. It's a relatively new movement. I just put this watch together 2 years ago maybe, so I don't think it's really in need of a service. Plus, I don't have any of the tools I would need to do a complete service. So I'm going to just try to see if we can get it back up and running, hence why I'm leaving it in the case. It makes for a convenient movement holder for me right now. So we're going to take off this little tiny screw. I have found throughout this process that I definitely should never become a surgeon because I have far from steady hands. Okay, I think we're close there. No, it's not coming out. Maybe I'll just hold the screw and turn the watch. See if I can get it out there. And it is coming. There we go. Now I will set that aside. And we will pull off the balance wheel. You know, it is harder than it looks to get these little parts out of a watch. Maybe it's just due to my shaky hands, but nonetheless, not as easy as the pros make it look. All right, so we've got the balance wheel out. I'm not really sure what to do next. I know that sometimes they'll unwind the mainspring so they don't accidentally unwind the whole thing and break something. I don't know. I'm kind of just looking around here. I think most of the self-winding stuff is still at the top. Let me bring it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up closer. See if we can see. See, I'm not sure if I should take off. You know what, I'm going to try. Let's see if we can get the pallet fork to move. I know you're probably not supposed to do this because you'll bend something or break something. But in my defense, it is a very cheap movement. It's $29 on eBay. So see, it's popping back and forth. Okay, it seems like the spring still has power going to the pallet fork, because when I move the pallet fork back and forth, it kind of jumps between positions, which I think it's supposed to do. So maybe I try putting this wheel just back in and hope that the problem was there's a term for it. I can't remember what the term is. If I remember it, I'll say it. But the impulse, is it the impulse, Jules? I'm not sure. Either way, I'm going to see if I can set this balance wheel back in, because maybe it just came off of the pallet fork. You know, there's just a little tiny piece that goes down inside the pallet fork, and if that was the case, that would explain why its amplitude was bad. I'm not sure. It's also not seeming to go in quite as I would have expected. Okay, I think I got the wheel set in there. Okay, and this is my little air puffer. No, something's still off. See, it's moving, but it is not continuing to move. Although, I will say, it looks like it's being caught on something now. So let's pop it off. Maybe I just didn't put it in right. Set that aside. I should probably be doing this on a piece of cloth. Let's do a little up-close view. You can see the pallet fork in there. There we go. That's the pallet fork right there. And you can see I'm moving it. I'm going to just barely touch it. And it kind of snaps back and forth. And when I was doing it, I see the gear train moving, which implies to me that the gear train is still fine. So let's just try to get this set in there again. See if we can. See if we can get. Man. Okay. I think. Man, it's just so hard to get. My shaky hands do not help in the slightest either. Let's just tap the wheel here. And no, I don't think it's there yet. Oh, maybe. This whole video is just going to be me trying to do one little thing. But if it works, I'll be very happy. Worst case scenario, I can just go buy a new movement on eBay. Ooh, look at that. Oh, now we're talking. That is, per my untrained eye, some proper amplitude. Okay, just so it doesn't fall apart. I can't really see the second hand right now, but it looks like things are moving. So let me put this screw back in. And I'm guaranteed going to have some problems with doing that, just because I am not very good at this. Let's see here. Okay, take it out. I will give credit to all of the pros out there. They have way more skill than I do. But sometimes it's fun to just try something on your own. And I've watched so many of these videos, I feel like I have to try it now. It's the logical next step in watching watch videos. Eventually you have to mod a watch. Then once you mod a watch, you have to try to take apart a movement. So I guess I'm at that stage in my watch collecting / enjoying career. These tiny little screws, these tiny little screwdrivers are not my friend though. But the balance wheel is going back and forth like a charm, so I'm hoping that this is a successful endeavor. Gotta flip it over. I just can't wait to flip it over and see if the second hand is moving. Because if the second hand is moving, I think we are good to go, and my favorite watch is restored. Let's see, here we go. The moment of truth. And there it is. The second hand is moving. I almost can't believe it. But thank you for watching. Thank you to Wristwatch Revival and all of the other watchmaking channels for giving me the cursory knowledge and confidence to just give it a shot and see what happens. I was not expecting this to go that simply. All I did was take out the balance wheel and put the balance wheel back in, and it seems that that was the only problem. So I guess now all I've got to do is get the rotor back installed. There we go. The rotor, which itself, it's like the nut that goes onto the screw, so there's no extra screw, which should make it hopefully a little bit easier to install. There we go, got it seated there. See if we can get it started with my tweezers. And then I'll switch over to the screwdriver. Get it tightened down there. There we go. They don't have torque specs on any of these things, so I'm just kind of guessing. And when I say they don't have torque specs, they probably do, but I'm not looking at a manual or anything like that. We're just winging it here. Okay, that seems like it is rotating around. I see the winding works moving when I'm rotating it, so I think that is good. I suppose all that is left is putting on the case back and basking in the joy that is a now working watch. Look at that. Now I have to update the date because it was broken for a few days. And polish it off a bit, clean it up. Running like a charm. Well, 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 a much more successful attempt than I would have ever expected, needless to say. And it is back up and running. So I guess the moral of this story is, if you have a watch and you want to try to fix it, give it a shot. As long as it's a cheap watch and won't break your bank.